Renting a printer for $8 a month may seem cheaper than paying $160 up front, but over time, that affordable option can actually cost more than buying the device outright. This reflects a broader shift happening across many industries. Instead of selling products once, companies increasingly charge recurring fees for continued access. Items that once required a single purchase are now tied to monthly payments that rarely end. The convenience may seem appealing at first, but it often hides a larger financial trade-off. How did ownership slowly turn into permanent renting? The hidden cost of renting. When you hear about renting a printer for $8 a month, it might sound like a bargain compared to buying it outright for $160. But that's just the beginning of the story. Over 2 years, the total rent payments add up to $192, 20% more than the purchase price. Worse still, the company often limits how much you can use the printer each month before charging extra, and even if you complete the subscription, the device and the ink don't truly belong to you. This blurred line between renting and owning shows how subscription models transform simple products into ongoing financial commitments. You may think you're paying for convenience, but in reality, many subscriptions lock you into longer terms and hidden fees that gradually inflate what you pay. Ownership in the traditional sense becomes a distant memory when you never fully possess what you use. This pattern doesn't just apply to printers, it's spreading into nearly every product category. From cars to software, subscription pricing quietly reshapes the value equation, often leaving consumers paying more and owning less. What looks like a modern convenience could be a cost trap, a reality that most people haven't fully grasped yet. The history of subscriptions stretches back much further than most realize, revealing how this economic shift evolved gradually before becoming the norm. Subscriptions' historical roots. Subscriptions are not a new invention. For centuries, people have paid upfront for recurring deliveries like newspapers, milk, or fruit. The idea was straightforward and transparent. Pay in advance for a service that keeps coming to your door. Consumers expected what they signed up for, and the relationship between buyer and seller was clear. Cable television in the 1970s was one of the first major industries to exploit the subscription model on a grand scale. Before that, most TV channels were free or limited. Satellite technology allowed the creation of dozens of new channels, and companies, led by HBO, realized they could offer curated content for a monthly fee without giving consumers any physical product. This was a revolutionary shift. People no longer bought something once, they paid continuously for access. By the mid-1980s, this concept exploded. HBO gained more than 14 million subscribers, and cable subscriptions quickly became widespread. From just 7.5% of households in 1970, subscription-based cable reached about 2/3 of American homes by 1999. This set the template for future subscription services, not as an occasional convenience, but as a new way to monetize access indefinitely. As the internet grew, it opened the doors for subscriptions to expand even further, offering companies new ways to keep us paying month after month. Technology's role in expansion. The arrival of internet providers like AOL in the 1990s made subscriptions more than just cable or magazines. Suddenly, millions of people were connected online, and companies quickly saw an opportunity not to sell products once, but to charge ongoing fees for services like email access or early online content. Digital goods, unlike physical products, could be delivered endlessly with little extra cost to providers. This shift became even more profound in the software and entertainment industries. Instead of buying software outright, consumers began paying monthly fees for access to programs like Salesforce or online games like World of Warcraft. Music streaming services followed, making it easy to access huge catalogs without buying individual albums. The trade-off, giving up control in exchange for convenience, became the new norm. Smartphones cemented this change in the late 2000s by putting the internet in everyone's pocket. App developers started charging small recurring fees for services that once might have been a one-time purchase. Today, subscription services cover nearly every aspect of life, from streaming shows to smart mattresses requiring monthly payments just to unlock features. This explosion of subscriptions was powered by technology but driven by clever business models designed to keep the revenue flowing. If consumers are feeling squeezed by these subscriptions, it's no accident. Companies have found ways to profit that often work against the user's interests. Before we go deeper into how these strategies work, take a second to like the video and subscribe for more breakdowns of the hidden economics shaping our digital world. Corporate profit strategies. Subscription models give companies a level of financial stability that traditional product sales rarely provide. Instead of relying on one-time purchases, businesses collect recurring monthly payments that create predictable revenue. Investors value this steady income because it allows companies to plan, expand, and forecast growth more reliably. Adobe illustrates this shift clearly. After moving from selling individual software licenses to a monthly subscription bundle, the company's annual revenue grew from around $4 billion in 2012 to more than $21 billion by 2024. Another advantage for companies is the stickiness of subscriptions. Many users keep paying simply because canceling takes time or attention. Automatic renewals mean customers must actively decide to stop paying rather than being asked to renew. Studies suggest people are far less likely to cancel when subscriptions renew by default, allowing companies to generate significant revenue from users who delay or forget to unsubscribe. Some businesses also use tactics that extend subscriptions longer than expected. Certain services present themselves as flexible monthly plans but quietly require year-long commitments with penalties for early cancellation. Others impose usage limits that trigger additional fees. These strategies turn convenience into a system that can steadily extract more money from customers over time. This imbalance has sparked growing frustration among consumers who are pushing back in search of fair treatment and genuine ownership rights. Consumer frustrations and pushback. Subscription fatigue has become a growing frustration for many consumers. Households today often manage numerous monthly payments at once, covering everything from streaming platforms and cloud storage to fitness apps and productivity tools. Individually, each fee may seem small, but together they can quietly exceed what people might have paid if they owned products outright. Tiered pricing and usage limits often add to the frustration, making customers feel as though they are constantly being pushed toward more expensive plans. Canceling subscriptions can also be surprisingly difficult. Some companies design their platforms to make unsubscribing confusing, hiding cancellation options or requiring customers to contact support. These tactics, known as dark patterns, take advantage of people's tendency to delay or overlook cancellations. Regulators like the Federal Trade Commission have taken notice, filing lawsuits against companies such as Amazon and Adobe for misleading subscription practices and complicated cancellation processes. Beyond the cost and inconvenience, many consumers are also uneasy about losing ownership. Streaming and licensing models mean people no longer truly possess the media they pay for. As a result, interest in physical formats like vinyl records and DVDs has grown again, along with demand for digital products that allow genuine ownership instead of temporary access. As these frustrations mount, the future of ownership faces a critical crossroads, where culture and law may redefine what it means to possess anything at all. The future of ownership. As subscriptions expand into more parts of daily life, many people are starting to question what ownership really means. In media alone, the shift is dramatic. By 2024, streaming services generated about 84% of recorded music revenue in the United States, while physical sales made up only around 11%. Without physical copies, people can no longer resell, lend, or pass down what they buy. Instead of true ownership, consumers often receive temporary access that can disappear if a platform removes content or changes its policies. This shift has sparked a cultural pushback. Some communities are rediscovering physical media and analog hobbies as a way to regain control. Places like Brooklyn's Analog Alley celebrate vinyl records, DVDs, board games, and even VHS tapes. For many people, building a personal collection is not just nostalgia. It is about having something permanent in a world where digital access can vanish overnight. Some companies are also offering alternatives that respect ownership. Platforms such as GOG.com allow users to download games without digital restrictions, meaning the files truly belong to the buyer. These examples show that ownership is not gone, but it is under pressure. The future will depend on whether consumers demand more control and whether laws evolve to protect the right to truly own what we pay for. Subscriptions might feel convenient, but as we've seen, owning less can end up costing more, both financially and personally. Understanding the true price of renting helps us decide what we value most: ongoing access or real ownership. If you found this insightful, please like and subscribe for more stories that reveal what's really behind the products and services we use every day.